episode number 13. We are back after like a month, half a month, whatever, we were gone. My name's Chad. We got John, Rich, and Mr. Bobby here. Quick little episode, nothing too wild tonight. Just kind of glance over some of the things happening in wrestling this week. A couple of us got to watch Halloween Havoc last night, which was a pretty decent show. So we'll go over that, followed by Chef's Kiss as always and Bone to Pick. Gents, how we feeling tonight?
Yay, wrestling.
Yeah, I feel good, man. I haven't been on in a while, so it's good to be back.
Hell yeah, Bobby, how you doing, bro?
Here we go. I'm loving it, man. It's Steelers. Let's go. Let's go. Steelers.
Who are
But
they?
hey,
Who are they playing?
Dolphins.
Ooh.
Is Tua playing?
I
I have
uh,
no clue. I
I
doubt it. I really doubt
I hope not.
I
it.
hope
Yeah.
he's not, but I thought I heard he was cleared this week. But then again, what the
Hope
fuck
they
do I
don't
know?
put him in. If they do, it's 1 or 2 reps and get him out. But hey,
Or how
wrestling
about
boys.
none? How
Wrestling.
about
Let's talk wrestling, guys.
I was gonna suggest we did a watch along of football tonight just to do something, but
oh
Hey, I'll be down.
talk about wrestling
uh,
on the side. But no, that might be a little long. We'll do that. We'll do that another time.
yeah.
Uh,
Can
what
do
do
that
we
like
got? What do we
Super
got?
Bowl.
Might be a
Uh,
little intoxicated for that one. It'll be a long
Yeah.
one.
uh
What do we got tonight? We want to talk about the future of the big two, WWE, AEW. We got some news coming out about CM Punk and his whole saga against the Elite. Obviously, safety has been a big concern here the last couple of weeks with wrestling. We saw Hangman go down in the main event of Dynamite this week, which was pretty unfortunate, not only as a mega mark, but just as a main event that could have been. As I mentioned, Halloween Havoc as well. So, guys, who wants to start off with what we got going on here in the big two?
oh man. So ever since Triple H took over head of creative of WWE, we have seen a flip of, I don't know if you can just call it just a new spark with the promotion, because it just seems fresher. The way that old characters from Vince McMahon are now coming into their own. Like we got rid of Max Dupree, who is now LA Knight. Um, T Bar, who's, oh, I forgot his name. Just last night. Uh,
Dominic
yeah, yeah,
Dijakovic.
Dominic
yeah,
Dijakovic?
yeah, Dominic Dijakovic. Who else? There's been a lot of changes going on, and it's definitely a breath of fresh air. Even Elias coming back, like from Ezekiel to Elias. I appreciate that they have corrected their transgressions, and WWE is more of a palatable promotions you watch, even 3 hours of Raw sometimes. I think the only, I'm going to be nitpicky here, is I know Triple H was a big proponent with NXT. And so he's pushing a lot of his NXT guys on the main roster. So I don't know if that's translating to the WWE universe, especially when we saw his main guys like Gargano. He hasn't gotten the biggest pops since his return. I don't know. Those are my thoughts about WWE, and AEW looks like it's going down the toilet because it's just bland, boring, and I'm so bored watching them, to be honest.
Give me some storylines. That's all you need. At
Yeah,
least four big storylines that make me want to watch it. And you can tell that when Cody left, the storylines kind of like was kind of more on the side, and pro wrestling is more, you know, on that. But I don't know. I just miss the storylines that they used to have. It was pretty good.
I think it's just the production quality in general just is
Oh,
lacking
that
on their
too.
side of things. Production, storylines, quality of the matches. I mean, we've seen some good matches and all, but yeah, after Cody left, it's become very stale to me. Um, I love it. I love the wrestlers. I love the product, but I feel like they try to do too much in too little time. That like they always say, "Oh, we're not competing." They're competing, 100%. They're trying to be WWE in a sense with their own twist. Um, I wish I could be more positive like we were maybe a year and a half ago. You know, Punk coming back, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, all these guys. You know, our first show together, all of us, we got to see all of this shit happen, and we were so pumped as like what could happen, what the future holds for this company, and you know, definitely the tides have been turned. I mean, Triple H is doing what he's doing with WWE. Uh, NXT isn't still the same to me. I did enjoy last night's show, and we'll talk about that later. But it's not the NXT that I was used to watching with Joey and Bob. You know, before we really got into AEW. You know, Raw and SmackDown is definitely getting better. Um, as John mentioned, we're getting a lot of the old NXT talent back. Whether or not they're really getting over with the crowd is another thing, and how they're bringing them on. But it's back and forth, but I feel like WWE's just really got the momentum right now. I don't see AEW turning that tide anytime soon until we get a lot of our major players back.
Absolutely agree with a lot of you guys are saying here. I'm definitely enjoying the WWE product a lot. Monday Night Raw used to be a bore for me. Just 3 hours. I'm like, damn, man, it's a long time, especially during right now football season. You know, I really want to pay attention to football, but Raw lately has been really catching my eye. 3 hours goes by like that. Again, I'm like, man, Raw's been kicking ass. For some of you guys can speak on SmackDown. I've been missing SmackDown the last couple weeks. I'll catch a few things, but from those few things I do enjoy. But the product definitely the tides has turned because right now with all the negative talk with AEW, I'm completely turned off. I did pay attention to the Tuesday Night War this past week, but yeah, I've had my complaints even for that show. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and
It looks like desperation from AEW
yeah.
because if you're looking at the way that they're selling their product now, they used to do the meet and greets they were paid for. Now they're doing free meet and greets for like one particular superstar. I think the one with Tony Khan, I think only had what 7 people. I think someone showed
I don't
that.
think it was
Uh,
that bad. I think that was
I
just
know,
mean, but
I know it was a joke, but
yeah.
I don't I don't know how many people were at those meet and greets, but you can tell that it seems desperate for people to come out to their shows. And yeah, it sucks when your key players are either injured, suspended, or both. So that it's definitely a shift in the tide for AEW and WWE, and things get stale. Hopefully, it doesn't stay forever. But I feel the injury bug has taken a toll on AEW, and it just feels like they're just putting on matches just as exhibitions with no storylines, which gives it its staleness because people are just now, oh, I'm gonna face you for a #1 contendership, or oh, I'm just gonna face you for the championship belt.
Random
Remember when
title
the ranking?
matches that
Yeah,
Random
but
title matches, yeah.
and they haven't updated the rankings since August, so rankings don't matter anymore.
yeah.
It's just I feel like they got to do a
But
reset.
Let me
not
check
only
that real
that,
quick. Let me check the rankings. Sorry, John.
yeah, but not only that, they also have like so many titles on TV that are not just AEW titles, or they're
Right.
also like what Sheeta had a title from like what company? Stardom. Like I didn't know she was a champion there, but then you got like well, obviously ROH and stuff like that, but just like it's so messy with titles, and I'm just like, who's this? I'm like watching, then they like Excalibur is like, oh, it's this person from this company. I'm like, cool. Why should I care? I don't
Guys,
know.
can I
Rankings have
ask?
not been updated on AEW since August 31st.
Holy
Yeah, it's been a
shit.
while now, right?
Yeah,
Can I
damn.
That's
ask how
almost as
you
bad
guys?
as us doing the podcast every week.
Oh man, that's not. Hey, it's not that bad. It's not that
Hey, we
Yeah.
doing better.
Can I ask you guys how do you guys feel about the match that they just announced with John Moxley and Penta for the world title this Dynamite?
Was that
Wait,
announced
really?
during Rampage? Because
Yeah.
I saw the tweet and I saw the video where like John Moxley basically summoned Penta out of nowhere.
I just saw it on
Um,
my news feed and I'm like, wow, really?
so
Um,
who are who are the trios champs? Is that still a
It's
thing?
it's 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 Death Triangle.
it's still them.
So instead of splitting these guys up and giving them additional belts or additional fucking runs, defend the belts you have already.
No,
Why is
I believe
Penta
they
going
just did
in?
on Rampage, right?
Did they? I didn't get to watch Rampage. I don't fucking know.
I think from the spoilers that I
Let's
saw,
see.
I believe they did.
Let's see. News.
All I know is
Yeah,
the
they
Acclaim.
face best friends.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same trios time and time again.
True.
It's just getting stale. It's actually, if you look at it from this perspective, it AEW flipped with WWE because remember when AEW didn't have rematches of the same folks time and time again. Now it feels like, didn't we just have this match like 2-3 weeks ago? And Tony Khan's roster, if you look at his roster, I can pull that out. There are multiple people and multiple talent that has not been on television for months. They're just back in catering, eating.
And you know the sad thing about AEW, the best thing that's going right now is MJF. And probably the best promo I saw, this past Wednesday was MJF versus Regal, and I was freaking fire.
They're
How do you
trying to
guys feel
fuck that
about
up,
that?
though. They're trying to fuck that up so hard.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
trying to
I'm
make
like,
him a face. Like,
I
don't
know.
do that. Like, he's got everybody on his side for sure. Everybody loves him to death.
Oh,
But
yeah.
don't fucking make him a face. Like, they're trying to pin his own group against him now, I feel like, right? That's kind of been what's going on.
Seems like it.
And now
Yeah.
they're also
Yep.
pushing this feud with Regal and all of them to get at Moxley, who's still the champ. Like, they're doing so much. It's like, just take it day by day, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we know he's winning the belt at Full Gear.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
He has
we,
to.
we know that he is going to be the imminent champion for at least until 2024, because there's been rumors that he's already signed an extension with AEW, which is why I hate dirt sheets. I'm just like, just stop. I wish we could keep kayfabe alive.
It's not gonna happen anytime.
It's
with the
not.
internet and Twitter and all this shit because everybody just knows.
And I think that's I think that's like the challenge today, right? Because we don't get to enjoy the surprises or the pops.
we're not
And
kids
just like,
anymore.
right. And we're just like, oh, spoilers. We love spoilers. Remember there was a time when we didn't have spoilers and we were just pleasantly surprised when people came from different promotions and we're like, holy shit, this person's here. And now we're like, oh, yeah, we were speculating that you were coming. I mean, what was the last pop that like really like popped you?
Edge.
I think it would probably be Edge. I think we were watching that at my old house, the Rumble, right? Did we watch
Yeah.
that together?
Yeah.
I was watching
Bobby?
that at a bar, and that was
Maybe.
sick. Whole bar exploded, man.
Yeah,
It's
Edge,
awesome.
man.
Love it.
That was a sick
Awesome.
moment. Like
Yeah.
goosebumps, man. Like legit. Like I almost had tears in my eyes. I'm like, man, what the hell?
Yeah.
Edge. But you guys are right, man. We're always spoiled. Surprises don't really mean much for us.
Right.
But when they do, they really hit.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
I
like
think-
mainstream media in general now. Everything is just spoiled before you can.
Dirt sheets.
Movies, games, like the whole Grand Theft Auto source code for the new
They
game
got
GTA
leaked.
6 was it 6? Yeah,
Yep.
6.
Yeah, that's 6.
Just got released a couple weeks or a
Really?
month ago, maybe. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Spoilers for Black Adam already. Like, just shit all over the place. It's hard. It's hard being in the internet age or social media age. It's just not fun at all.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating, but yeah, I don't know how else you got to wait for people to not get hurt, I guess.
I guess is the moral of the story, which is already going into one of our other segments. I guess we'll kind of just work our way into that.
Yep, yeah.
So, injury season still. We still don't know what's going on with Adam Cole. Hangman just got diagnosed with a concussion, which he's very lucky it wasn't worse than that. We still have Statty out with her deal. She's probably out at least a couple more months because it's only been like 2 or 3. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, WWE, with his pec injury. He's probably got at least another month or two, I would think. Probably well into Rumble season. Um, yeah, just a lot of shit going on. I don't even know all the injuries because I know there's so many. It's just everything's so lacking.
Yeah, there's a lot more in AEW side though, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if I go down this roster and I have it pulled up, Adam Cole hurt, Adam Page hurt. Wasn't Alex Reynolds hurt?
Reynolds did get hurt during the trios match, yes, at All Out.
Is a Go-Go hurt? I don't know.
Christian Cage, we were told about 8 months still, and they're continuing Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, CM Punk, if he's still part of the company, hurt.
Darius
Martin, yeah, he's hurt. Oh man,
Kyle O'Reilly, Lee Johnson, Layla Hirsch, Mercedes Martinez, Big Show. Apparently,
Thunder Rosa, allegedly.
It's all
Penelope
AEW
Ford
stars.
is apparently hurt.
Why?
Red Velvet, Ruby Soho got fucked up at All Out. Santana blew his knee out at Blood and Guts. Scorpio Sky apparently is hurt. The Bunny. I'm reading all these off of a website, so a lot of these might be wrong. Actually, the Bunny just came back, right?
Layla Hirsch, if we said her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's been out for almost a year, right?
Yeah, she.
I think it's been a little less. I think it's been like 6 to 8 months, maybe.
Okay, but it was like an MCL.
She was fighting Statty before Statty got hurt, and she got in her title.
She was supposed to have a bigger match, and then she got hurt.
Yep.
Poor Layla. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at the injuries, I think in today's modern wrestling, and I don't want to have to agree with like Jim Cornette, but he's actually right in regards to, and it sucks to say that, but he is right. No one's going to remember the spot where you do a Hurricane Rana off out of the ring onto the floor into a table. Yeah, it was a cool spot from there, but as far as wrestling psychology, as far as the story making sense, if you look at any movie, there is a plot. And from our good friend Joey, it seems like AEW is always jumping
the shark.
And I guess it's the wow factor, but we've been seeing the same moves over and over. I don't think we're wowed anymore unless someone's going to like completely like kill themselves. And we don't want that as far as fans. Obviously want to be captivated by the emotions that are going through, the false finishes, the heel kicking the crap out of the babyface making that comeback and then getting split. I don't need to see people go through tables every 5 seconds. I don't need to see people getting chair shots every 5 seconds.
Or jumping off the turnbuckle, or fucking going through the announce table, or interfering in another match, or all sorts of shit.
Or bleeding.
Constantly. Yeah, just constantly blading. And yeah, the spots they're not meaningful anymore.
Because you expect them every single time. They used to be special. You used to bring out the special moves for your WrestleManias, your All Outs, your fucking whatever your main show is. And now we get them on Dynamite every week, or we get them on Rampage. And I wouldn't say WWE is any better in a sense, but I think their arena is definitely more controlled than what we're used to seeing on the other side of things.
Yeah, they definitely have less injuries from what I've seen. And usually if the injuries are happening, it's like, I mean, the only one that I remember that was like live was Big E's from WWE. If there was any other injuries, that might have been like a blown knee. I feel like someone blew out their knee, but
Randy
Orton. But also WWE
has
their own kind of style as well for wrestling too. Right. So they, if you're an indie star, luchador, you have to still follow WWE's like style of wrestling. You still do lucha stuff, but they're probably like some banned moves you can't do. And I get why they have those banned moves, so you won't see any injuries. So I don't know, like down the future, if AEW is going to start having like a list of banned moves you can't do, But I don't know what you guys think about that.
I don't think there's going to be. I think Tony Khan has too much control over the product. He wants to have his hands on everything, and obviously, this is his expensive toy. Billionaire getting to play Booker. This is this is his enjoyment, and we're just living in Tony Khan's world because I don't know how much AEW is making. They might be in the red because of all the contracts that they have, all the things that they try and push and produce. I don't know if people are constantly buying stuff, but
Guys, I'm just gonna add. I agree with the moves. Is it worth the risk? Is the reward really that rewarding? But I will say, Rich, you mentioned Tony Khan, and I feel like it's not completely all his vision. The Young Bucks and Kenny mentioned in interviews they're here to change the wrestling world business in general. So I think this is their vision, and Tony's like, I like your vision, so I'm gonna buy into it, and this is what we're getting: pile drivers. You're getting kick out of two, super kicks and tombstones. It's every week, and I agree. It's like, man, it's too much. I'd rather see the tombstone be the finish. I'd rather see the pile driver be the finish, not pile driver leads into another move, leads into the Canadian destroyer off the top rope into a flaming table, and God, I don't want to see all this. If I do, I'll go to a GCW show.
Oh
But
yeah.
right. Like are places for it. I
correct,
feel
and this is national television, and I'd rather
right.
see a soap opera with wrestling, a nice mix, and we're not really getting it, but it's also the vision of the Young Bucks, and I feel like some of the other wrestlers probably agree with it, and there's other wrestlers like CM Punk and some of the older guys who are like, no, boys, we gotta tune it back, and that's where we get that conflict. And I agree. I feel like these boys should turn it down a bit and listen to your peers here, And if not, we'll get injuries. And Chad, you already ran down the list. How many guys? Over 10 to 15?
10 in one promotion alone.
One promotional. And WWE probably has maybe a handful that I can think of. Maybe.
So Cody for sure, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode,
Yeah,
Big
Boogs.
E.
I heard it was probably something with his visa in Canada, maybe.
You might be right, so maybe we'll take him off. So there's 3 right there.
Boogs from WrestleMania when his
Yes.
I thought he came
tendon.
back.
No,
Boogs
he's
came
still
back.
out. Nope.
No, that takes at least a year.
He's not on
Yeah.
this list, so
Nah, dude, he tore his ACL at maybe.
No, the muscle from the quad,
The outer muscle.
like whatever. Well, not the quad, like the tendon that goes from the
Hamstring?
kneecap to the quad, the kneecap to the quad, whatever that muscle is.
He tore that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna be gone for a while. Big
Hold
E.
on, I can.
yeah,
Big
Big
E.
E. Charlotte's is a storyline injury.
It was a torn quad. It was a patellar tendon. That's
Oh,
what it was for.
Oof. Isn't that what Triple H had?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, just there's. I mean, injuries suck, and it's a part of it. Like even with Hangman Adam Page, I don't know if it was like, I don't know what happened. I know he got knocked out, but was the lariat just too stiff? Was it?
I think it was a combination of both. I mean, I think he got knocked out because of the lariat, and then he just landed like even 10 times worse than he should have. But obviously, the only 2 guys that are going to know that for sure are the guys that were in the ring. But that's just what it looked like on TV. You saw his head go back like that, and then poosh. Pretty nasty.
Yeah. And then it was like what, still 10 minutes left of airtime or something like that.
I think it was 8, so they had to like improvise. MJF came out, and it was just this whole awkward deal while they were trying to get him out of the ring. So
Shout out to John Moxley though for taking the time, wishing Heyman is okay, but also still building on the storyline with MJF and just kind of winging it. So good of him on that. And that's why he's the world champion. I guess you can tell he's definitely a leader in the locker room as well. And I can tell Brian is trying to step up as being one of the leaders. It's just good to see like actual veterans Um, kind of showing like the
Them
younger
two
guys
names
what to
and
do and stuff.
Jericho.
And Jericho, yes, Jericho, obviously Jericho as well too. Yeah. So
Jericho. But yeah, I mean, you got to give credit where credit is due. Jericho is a leader in that office.
Yep.
Well,
All
but get
right.
well soon.
Hell yeah. We hopefully see a lot of these guys and girls come back soon. Move on, I guess, to the CM Punk deal here against the Elite. So as we know of right now, everyone is still suspended. One of the parties was fired though. Rich, you want to take it away with that?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
So yeah, what had transpired. So what we have from the dirt sheets is Ace Steel has been relieved of his duties from AEW. There had been things on his, I think, social media account where he's playing a song from the Blues Brothers or Freedom, Freedom. So from there, and I know Ace Steel is a great, well, one of, I think, the only friend that CM Punk had, or the one that he actually
He's
trusts.
his trainer too.
Yeah, his trainer, and he's gone from the company. We don't know what the status is of CM Punk, but the speculation is that will be a buyout of his contract. So he had about two more years left on his contract, 2 or 3 more years or something like that. So that's the speculation, but it's kind of awkward when he's the face of your video game when it's AEW Fight Forever and he's on there. So I wish they can turn it around and make some money off of it. And
it's too late to do that too.
you can make so much money.
They could have done it
easily.
that Wednesday, and they decided not to. They decided to suspend everybody. So
Yep.
Self-inflicted there, unfortunately.
Quick question, guys. Do you guys think they removed CM Punk out of the game then?
No.
Nah.
Keep him in.
They'll keep him in because you, as a programmer, it's so hard to like scrub all of that, especially if it's going into print.
Not necessarily. I've paid attention to the video games, and they've done it before in WWE games where, hey, if you
it costs money. I mean, I know Tony Khan's a billionaire, but you look at some of these organizations like EA Sports, when someone gets like suspended, they just get like kicked off or something. I saw that with Michael Vick when he had his Alec, the dog thing. I was like, oh man, he's not even on the squad no more. I can't even play with Michael Vick no more. They like scrubbed him. I mean, so yeah, it has been done before, but it's yeah.
The fact that he's a cover athlete and the game's set to release next month.
Like Christmas time.
Yeah, that's well. I
Wait,
don't know
do they actually have a date for the game or no?
Let's see.
It's Q4. That's all I know. Q4.
Right?
See, if you don't even have a date, that's kind of like worrisome a little bit.
So it just says 2022, but there are retailers that had dates of December and November, I believe.
Interesting.
Well, if you look at the Wikipedia page, it's saying TBA
2023.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, I can see them pushing it back until whenever WWE releases their next video game, which will probably be around WrestleMania season, and they'll probably compete.
I mean,
you're probably right, Bobby.
You'd probably have to pay me to not play either one of those games.
You know, because
you wouldn't even have to probably.
They used to do that with Battlefield, right, Chad? Battlefield would
release like I want to say July or August, and then Call of Duty would release like October, November.
Okay.
I think. I know it would always be Battlefield, then Call of Duty.
All right. Well, again, it's not the first time where video games will come out. I can see it happening. You know, maybe releasing in February and WWE will release in like May. Give it a couple months, but. Hey man, I'm still interested in playing the video game. You know, whether they keep Punk, remove Punk. Hey man, I'm excited. I do want to check this.
Me too.
Just give me the backstage brawl.
I've actually been playing a good amount of WWF No Mercy, just checking it out. I'm like, this game's pretty damn fun. So
Backstage Assault 101.
Yeah.
AEW.
Yeah, give me that. Give me that. Yeah. Why are you coming into my promo? No, something like that. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. The rise and fall of CM Punk. It's
Now,
unfortunate.
the
It's
interesting
unfortunate.
part is the last few weeks on Dynamite and Rampage, there have been zero reference to any of the parties involved in the dispute. This week we did get a Young Bucks reference, I believe, and they did show Punk in the video packaging for the ROH champions. So, did want to bring that up. And I assume if they've already released Ace, that we're gonna get some sort of finalization here shortly. I don't think it's going to be dragged out much further. I mean, I hope not, but yeah.
It's his talking.
Yep, it does.
It's his talking. So good luck, CM Punk. You're already rich.
Yep.
Did you guys see the reports that maybe WWE Triple H might be interested in bringing him back? Maybe.
No, I
Jack's
haven't.
like, nah.
I mean, I've seen it, but
If they buy out his contract, it's not like he's going to be able to go there anytime soon, right?
No, because I think
Yeah.
there is some
There's
type
a
of
non-compete.
clause, right?
yeah, there's not gonna be.
But do you guys think in the future is there a possibility that he'll return? Because at the end of the day, money talks.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I think it's a lot less likely than. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. He'll probably fucking do it, knowing what I'm saying right now. But
I could see him in a. This is wild, and this is my hot take. I can see him in a GM manager role in WWE, just causing havoc because his in ring stuff. It's okay. I mean, I know there's a story to tell, but he's mid-40s. It doesn't seem like he's got the stamina, but amazing on the mic, and he can make it feel real. So I would give him a managerial or a GM role, and go toe to toe with Hunter or something like that. It's like,
Rich, I like the idea. Would you like for him to kind of be in a storyline that drags out and have him come out for like one or two match, or just have him in that role just forever?
I think they'll just have him in that role, and just since I'm thinking back when they had their promo battle, Triple H and CM Punk, just coming back from that and saying, "No, I didn't forget that, MFR. I'm going to take over and make this business what it needs to be," or something like that. Get heel Punk like that. That would be something that would be very interesting from the administrative side. If you want to have storylines with Triple H and stuff, and then they have their guys go at it each other, and you can make a whole lot of money that way.
You're right. That's very juicy.
That would make too much
Especially
sense,
There
though.
is. I feel like
That makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm not making stuff, but that would be an idea if they wanted to make some money, WWE. But
Well, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed because
I mean, that's my hot take. If there's
do
any
hope
other hot
one
takes, I
day
can.
Punk will come back and just to say goodbye. At least. I know he had his coup de grace with AEW. It looks like, but if he comes back, at least one or two match, and then all right, I apologize for being a dick, and then peace out.
Don't have to apologize either. He can be whoever he wants to be. But
well, for him to come back to the company that he bashed.
Sure.
That's not apologize for what he did at AEW.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Context for that. Yeah, I mean,
my bad.
Sure. But that's all I got to say about Punk.
All right, let's move on to Halloween Havoc here. We'll go over that real briefly. John, Bob, and myself watched together with Joey, who's unfortunately under the weather, so he's not going to be able to review it.
Get well, Joey.
Get well, Joey. Just go over real quick. This is probably out of order. So we had Julius Creed defeat Damon.
We're going out of order, Chad. Come on, man.
I'm just going off of what I found here. Fine, I'll find.
Go to Wikipedia. Halloween Havoc 2022.
Well,
but it's in order.
Off with the ladder match, the North American Championship. Carmelo Hayes.
Wesley defeated Carmelo Hayes, Nathan Frazier, Oro Mensah, and Von Wagner. We had a casket match in which Apollo Crews defeated Grayson Waller. A weapons wild match, Roxanne Perez defeated Cora Jade. Ambulance match, Julius Creed defeated Damon Kemp. The NXT Women's Championship match, Mandy Rose retained over Alba Fire by pinfall. And the NXT Championship triple threat match, Braun Breaker defeated Dragunov and JD McDonough to win and retain. John, Bob, Rich, who wants to go first? What were your thoughts while I munch on French fries?
I mean, we can start with the ladder match for the North American, the vacated North American Championship. Wow, that's all I gotta say. Von Wagner throwing Buddy just onto the train. Wow,
That was insane.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
I mean, now that's those are spots. That's when you do spots like that during like your premium live events, pay-per-views, whatever. That was wild. Didn't Von Wagner almost hit someone in the head with the ladder as well, like a fan?
Yeah,
as
he was
well?
pulling it out. It was stuck because it was one of
Yeah,
the super
yeah.
long ladders. He almost hit
Yeah.
some chick in the stands. And
Yeah.
then the referee was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
The way Carmelo Hayes bounced off the ladder when he took that bump, and you see Trick on the other side just selling with him.
So nasty looking, man.
Those are memorable. So I give credit to WWE. If you're gonna do spots like that, again, place them in your premium live events, place them in your pay-per-views. I get to remember them. That is when you do it. Like, shout out to Wesley for winning the thing. If you saw the behind the scenes stuff where he's hugging Shawn Michaels, you can definitely tell like the emotions have been poured into that. I also saw a tweet from, I believe it's Public Enemy podcast, where it says like the North American Championship is like a brothers only championship minus Adam Cole. Because who's won it? Keith Lee, Swerve, Carmelo. I'm just saying. I think they said that, and it's like Adam Cole is part of the brothers. So if you look at it, like we can look up who's won it.
I've never looked at it, but woo,
It is a brothers championship.
He's
Oh,
by
yeah.
association a colored folk,
nice.
a colored boy. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say there. It didn't come out right. We're gonna move on.
Part of the
I did.
brothers.
I did want to point out the Wagner throwing Lee onto the commentary table and it not breaking. That was pretty fucking wild. That
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like it hurt.
We brought that up last time. I'm like, I think if the table broke, it would have been the cherry on top. But it was Rich. It was a 6-5.
It was so smooth. It looked like it hurt like a motherfucker, like way
Dude.
more
Oh,
than
it definitely
going through
hurt.
the table.
Also the barricades were really stiff too that
Yeah,
night.
what was
Oh,
it?
Holy
yeah.
hell.
They look like Legos.
They doubled that.
Yeah, double barricade or something.
Yeah.
And again, the sound, the thud on that. Oof. It's nice. It's a nice addition to the event.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the match.
But the match was very fun. I don't know. Did Joey or some? I thought one of y'all said it went a little too long. I thought the ladder match.
That was
You gotta
probably
get
Joey.
the boys time. But it was a fun
Yeah.
match.
I think it was Joey said that.
That's the only guy who would ever say that, honestly. Moving on to the casket match. Now, I brought up before they did on commentary, this is only the fourth casket match that has not involved the Undertaker in one way. I
Ed
believe
literally brought that up. Like
two of them involved Kane. One of them involved Triple H, and I believe part of the Ministry of Darkness at the time. And then this one.
Yeah, Chad, you brought that up literally right before they.
It was weird. It was so weird. Like, I brought up, I'm like, I'm going to fucking know this. So I'm like, Taker's been in like 90% of these.
Mhm.
The interesting part about this match was they bring in the first casket, and you could see it was like one of those small wood ones like Darby Allin would fucking dive through. And I was like sitting there like, I wonder why this isn't open. While they were doing that, we got into like a video package with Toxic Attraction, going into like basically like a haunted house. So I was like, is this going together? I was really confused. But we actually had somebody go through the first coffin, in which they brought out the actual, I guess, standard coffin we've seen in like the Taker matches with the padding and all the fancy shit inside of it. So that was pretty cool. Like just switching it mid match, like the lights cut out after Cruz went through it. The Druids were behind him and he was standing up like, ooh, what's going on? And then they brought another one out. So that was kind of cool. I thought that was a little different than what we've seen traditionally in a WWE casket match. Um, and it was back and forth for a while too. It wasn't anything too predictable. I mean, it was kind of like your general casket match after that. But it was a pretty solid match, I would say.
Decent match, decent casket match. We don't really see casket matches often. Chad, you mentioned last night, the last time we did see one was against Taker and Jericho, right?
No, it's Taker and Rusev.
Oh, my bad. Well,
Wow.
Well, it was supposed to be
Jericho.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it was supposed to be Rusev. Then they changed it to Jericho. Then they changed it back to Rusev.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
one of those.
back and forth.
Yeah, but I think it was Rusev. Yes. So it was a couple years. It's been a couple years now. And yeah, without Taker in this match, I felt like these two guys, it was a decent match. Nothing crazy. The spot itself, I thought delivered. Breaking the casket, and then they brought out the other the nicer casket with the red padding inside and the pillow. Very, it looks very comfortable. But it was a decent match. I don't know, Rich, JT, any thoughts?
I love stuff that makes sense.
So not this match, right?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's all right. I didn't really like it compared to the ladder match that we just saw. I mean, it's okay.
It was a much slower
My thoughts
pace
on
for
it.
sure. I mean, only two
Yeah.
guys, and ooh, I'm gonna put you in a coffin, spooky, blah blah blah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a good pace. If you look at Halloween Havoc, it went like, yeah. So,
Yeah, it's a roller coaster.
yeah.
All right, moving on. The Weapons Wild match, aka Extreme Rules, as I call it the entire night, because it's
Right.
really a fucking Extreme Rules match. Um, I was upset during this match with some of the weapon selections. Like the little tiny ass rope that had zero weight to it was doing more damage than chains. Like anybody else, I was like bitching about this. I was so mad. I was really upset about this when me and John and Bob were watching it. Like it just looks so awkward. I'm like, we can
Yeah,
clearly see on TV there's no weight to that. Like you either need to sell it like 100 times better or just not do the spot at all.
agreed with you, Chad. The weapon selection with these women could have been a little bit better, or they could have used. I don't. They could have. I don't know, man. The shots that they were using with these weapons were very weak, and it's like they were afraid to really hurt each other with it. And it's like it's a weapon. You gotta use it. You gotta go. If not, it's not gonna. It's not gonna perform well
It's
to
not gonna
the
be
audience.
believable.
And it's for us. It's gonna be like, oh, that looked like shit. You don't want
Yeah.
us making it. Oh, that looked like shit. No, you want us to believe that fucking hurt. And there's things in that match. Yeah, the rope spot was shit, but I felt like what was it? It was like Cora brought in Roxy for like that Russian leg sweep off the platform into the table. That was decent. That was a decent spot. But what happened to it? You thought it was all right, Rich? Yeah.
I mean, I know they were looking back to make sure it was safe, but
It was just such an awkward spot. It's like I don't want to hurt you, but I'm gonna throw myself on top of you anyways, and we're both gonna take this fall.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with that spot. I'd rather have what Cora or Roxanne, whatever her name is, throw Cora off. Because why would you sacrifice your own self in this match? You
No,
know?
like
Like be
I
a heel. Like do the turn fully. Like if you're not gonna be
Yeah.
friends
Yeah.
anymore, fucking finish it right there.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll say this: if we look at War Games when Cora Jade was actually a face, like she had more that when it was the black and gold and the new 2.0 stuff, like we thought she literally like separated her shoulder, even though she was working us all. Where was that? Like, where was that believability? Like, gonna hit you like this. Oh, like I legit thought she was like, oh damn, she hurt herself. Now I'm just like, man, this looks like crap. Um, but I get not hurting each other. That there's a fine line. It's called acting. You gotta
sell
make it
it.
believable.
Gotta
Yeah,
sell
you gotta
it.
sell
Hey
it.
man, if that was my friend, I wouldn't be holding back. I'll tell him the same way. You better hit me hard as fuck, because we're gonna make this shit look good, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I would do with my friend.
Take
But
two
Yeah,
guys and
if you
lay
have
it in,
trust,
huh?
it's like
yeah,
it's nothing personal. Look, we got to
yeah,
go out there and
exactly.
do a show. We're gonna be as safe as we can, but lay it in me, lay a shoulder in me, like
Yeah,
hit me.
exactly.
Um,
Speaking of hitting, I mean, quick little thing. Athena versus Jody. Have you guys
oh,
seen that yet?
oh yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. We were talking about it last night. I've been trying to go back and do that.
It's
Everybody,
beautiful. But anyways, we can
everybody's
move
like
on.
she's too mean. She's too. I'm like, okay, what
Dude,
do you want?
awesome.
Next match, we had the ambulance match. Now, the one thing that kind of irritated me about this match was just the positioning of the ambulance, like compared to the
Oh
crowd.
yeah.
Like they had to go backstage for it when they could have just backed the ambulance up like all the way to where like the end of the ring was, that little corner, and
Mhm.
they could have just done it there.
Chad, I don't know if you saw, but they had to go throughout like that very small garage door entrance. So I
Yeah,
feel
but
like
they were already through it. Like so if you've
they
ever
were
seen
like
an ambulance, you know the big part, the whole
correct.
back part is the biggest part of it. So all they had to do was back it up, go
They
through that
were
little
they were
opening, would have been
barely
done.
through it though. It was like they were through. It was like enough just for them
There
to
was
kind
room.
of. Yeah,
For sure there was room.
there was room, but I feel like they didn't want to go ahead and back it all the way. I get your.
I know why they did it that way, because they wanted the drive out scene and yada yada yada. When all they had to do was just close the fucking doors and it was done.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they were going to do anything after him driving away. Like, ooh, who's driving the fucking ambulance? Is this guy gonna
Chucky.
live? Exactly. Like they didn't do anything like they could have with that, so it wouldn't have mattered anyways. But
It's for drama, though. Dramatic effect. You gotta
it's not
sell it.
dramatic if the crowd that's there can't even fucking see what you're doing to begin with. Like,
I
That's
know.
very true.
imagine going to that and not being able to see it, like having to watch shit on the screen. Like that's the one thing that irritates me going to a wrestling show is when I can't see what's happening. I have to fucking get up out of my seat to see it, one, or two, you have to watch it on the screen.
Hmm.
Like I just feel like that's not getting your money's worth. Personally, I get you don't have to do that. Like you'll do it every once in a while, but it's just a minor inconvenience that I felt like I would be pissed
Yeah.
if I were there, especially since there's
Mhm.
only like a couple hundred people there to begin with. Like you're limiting the view of like the smallest crowd capacity you have out of any show. That makes sense to me, but minor details. Other than
But the
that, it
match.
was an okay match. Um, the only thing I was really concerned about was the like power bomb spot onto the stretcher. They were so close to the announce table. I thought like someone was gonna get their head smacked, like knocked out. And Joey had brought that up because it was super close, and that was obviously towards the end of the match. Um, yeah,
Yeah, it was a good match. It was a
Good
good match because
match.
it made sense for the feud. It's been something that's been building for months now, and they accumulated in this ambulance match. I thought the boys did well. I do see potential in what's his name, Kemp, uh, Damon Kemp, and Julius Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julius Creed, man. Both these kids, they got potential on the main roster. So
Yeah, Creed brothers.
yeah, man, him and his brother Brutus. So hopefully these guys can get the call up soon. I do see very good things out of these kids. So I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a decent ambulance match. Yeah, I would like to see more out of these guys. We can go to the was it the main event, right, Chad?
The co-main.
Co-main event.
Oh, the co-main, correct? My bad.
So yeah, we had the women's match, as we mentioned earlier, Toxic Attraction, and them had a little cinematic haunted house deal earlier in the show, in which led to them going to the arena for this match. Um, this was a pretty solid one. I didn't have.
Short.
It was short for sure, and we kind of figured it would, since they
Yeah.
had the cinematic pre-match type of deal. Joey said there's no way this goes longer than 5 minutes. I think it was like just under 7 minutes of a match.
Yeah, it was.
I was okay with it. I didn't anticipate there being interference, right? There was a little bit of interference towards the end, I think. Or did they come
Correct.
out? Or did they come? Okay, yeah.
Nah, it was
I
towards
wasn't
the
in,
end.
I wasn't anticipating that because they got left behind. Like, unless the haunted house was like next door to the fucking arena, which is a little
Everything,
Apparently
weird.
it
near,
was.
everything's near
Yeah.
over.
You know, we got the Firefly
Yeah.
Funhouse over here. You got this haunted house over there, and then you got the performance center behind you, and then you got the arena. Oh, so it's all in one stop shop.
Yeah.
But
So that
props
was,
to Mandy.
Yeah, Mandy's a pretty decent champ.
Today marks a year, right, boys?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it
think so.
does.
1 year.
Yay,
Congratulations.
Mandy!
After that, we had a little segment with Shotzi and Bob's favorite wrestler of all time.
Who?
Who
Nah.
the fuck?
Nah.
What's the dude's name?
Quincy Elliott.
Quincy Elliott. So fucking, just so bad, man. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't understand his whole deal. Joey was mad too. Like, it was just like an unneeded segment. But apparently Shotzi's gonna face Lash Legend this Tuesday on NXT. So it looks like Shotzi's going back to NXT, or they're just crossing over main promotion wrestlers with NXT now. So we'll see what they do with that. But the triple threat match, I think safe to say, was probably match of the night for me.
Oh yeah, hands down. Me too.
Some
Match of the night
pretty
for myself.
some pretty brutal stuff going on there. Dragunov selling the entire night was just on point. Like, it was so believable. The foaming of the mouth, getting up and being dazed and like falling over after getting hit and whatnot. You know, just selling everything was just on point. It's very believable as possibly winning the belt that night for sure.
Oh, the spot where Braun hit the Frankensteiner and then to the powerbomb spot with Ilya, like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Yeah, match of the night for me as well. Definitely, I don't know when he's going to get the call up, but I hope they change his name to Rex Steiner or something. He can't be Braun Breaker up on the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't understand when they announced he was going to be on there. Just keep the name, especially if they're already in the Steiners are in the Hall of Fame. Like, why are you going to change that legacy? Like, just give him his name and call it a day.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about Halloween Havoc, boys?
No, I thought it was a fun show. It was definitely a fun show. I didn't catch last year's Halloween Havoc, so I can't compare it to last year's. But for this year, I thought the men and women performed well. There was things that, yeah, the women's matches felt like those could have been better. But overall, I thought it was a decent show, especially watching it with you fellas. It was still a good time. We made it a good time. So yeah, NXT, keep it up. Haven't been paying attention because October is pretty much a bad month for me because of football, and I'm watching horror films and just
Say you hate wrestling.
No, I do not, Rich. I keep an eye on it. Just, NXT is gonna have to take the hit.
Say you hate wrestling.
I will say,
Anyways.
Bob, how are you feeling right now with the Steelers losing 10-0 to a man who was just concussed 2 weeks ago?
Anyways, I am going home, guys. Catch you guys later. I'm signing off. Peace.
What?
Wow.
Wow, did he just sign up?
Yeah.
You
No, I'm
fucking
kidding.
fool.
I was about to
All
say,
right,
what?
you fucking
I was like,
idiot.
wow.
This is Bob's
that was-
segment right now.
Luke, we're not talking about the Steelers right now because, yes, I'm paying attention and it's brutal right now. I want
This man got knocked out a week ago. 2 weeks ago. Literally. He's whooping that ass. All right, Chef's
Yeah.
Kiss. Play the video.
What? No, bro. Nah. Joey's not here. I'm not doing the chef's kiss without Joey. Not
What?
only
We're not gonna do it.
that, our combo was we already talked about it. It was the main event. We thought the main event that was great.
Dragunov selling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Dragunov selling to the crowd too, but also to the camera, which is just
Correct, man.
The
So,
facials, the foaming of the mouth, the
Correct.
dizziness, the everything about it. His performance was
Yeah,
10 out
but
of
The
10.
he's always been
believability.
Yes, it
he's-
was real. It's like he was
Yes.
actually getting his fucking head knocked
Yes.
in. Who would have
Yeah.
thought?
he's always done that, especially the matches against him and Gunther in the past. Those 2 matches that they had, just beautiful as well.
yeah, I agree. Dragunov, that dude, he sold his ass off. He was the MVP of that triple threat match. Guaranteed, hands down. Madonna, he did well, and Breaker did well too. But Dragunov, man, that man kicked ass and stole the show. So,
Almost
sorry,
got a pick
fellas.
there, buddy. Almost got a pick.
Almost, I know. Shit.
Speaking of pick, how about bone to pick?
Ooh,
I'll tell you mine. The fucking camera work in that show last night.
Ooh, yeah.
How many times were they gonna switch cameras? Like, boom, 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 boom. Like, oh my god. Like, there were certain points where they almost missed big spots. Like, just random ass cameras. I think in the casket match, we got a random shot of the casket while they were, like, jumping off the.
Yeah, it was. We
Side
all
of the
like,
ring.
what the hell? What kind of shot was that?
Like, I do like the fact they're doing, like, the Fox style, like sideline camera. And it shows you the entire ring. It makes the ring look huge. Like, the size different. Like, looking at Raw or SmackDown, like, their camera angles, like, it's definitely more noticeable than you would think. But when you're switching from left to right to middle, left to right to middle, like, in sequence within the span of 5 seconds, it's like, it can be very unwatchable if you do it too many times. And there was points in, like, the first few matches of, like, please stop. It's just so bad. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
My bone to pick is with the DC universe with Black Adam.
What? Did you see it?
I did see it.
Fuck, I haven't seen it yet, and I want to see it. I already know some of it.
Is it bad, Rich?
I mean, it's not. Well, we're going to typecast Dwayne The Rock Johnson because he's going to be an action hero. He's not going to do anything else.
He's
Yes.
an anti-hero.
Well, yes. Well, okay. We get into semantics with comic books and stuff. I know we can get into that. But my bone to pick is this DC universe with your slow-mo action scenes when you're like, oh, I'm about to punch you in the face. It doesn't have to be every single scene. I hated the kid. He was so annoying.
I did hear he was annoying and cringeworthy in every scene he was in.
Yes, annoying.
I heard it was like a
that's
father-son type dynamic. I don't know the whole story, but that's what they
I'm
were showing.
without any spoilers. Yeah, I mean, The Rock does what he has to do, but it was definitely cringe-worthy. I mean, go see it, but they need to do a full reset on DC Universe. That's my
I'm
bone
a
to pick.
DC fanboy, so
You need to tell your boys to do a whole revamp.
it's all right. So if they do the Flash right, which eventually they're gonna have to recast the Flash for whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because I think he's going to jail.
Probably going to jail. That was supposed to be a hard reset of everything going on, but now Jason Momoa and Ben Affleck both. Well, not Jason Momoa. I'm sorry. Ben Affleck being in the new Aquaman, they had to rewrite parts of the Flash, from what I've heard, because they also had a different Batman in there. We also got the cancellation of Batgirl. Michael Keaton. No, Keaton? Yeah. Keaton's Batman.
You're talking about from the original, like from
Was-
1989.
Yes,
Batman?
Keaton's
Yes,
Batman
Keaton.
was supposed to be the new Batman in the current universe, but now they rewrote it because Ben's Batman is back, and they were gonna kill Ben's Batman, and now Keaton's Batman is in the mix, and who the fuck knows? Now I heard supposedly they're both just gonna be in the same universe, which is even more confusing. So I don't like that part. I'm a big fan of what I heard about the post credits in Black Adam. I've
Sure.
been waiting for that for a very long time. It's well deserved, and they should have done that years ago. It's been a lot of wasted time. But we'll let everybody figure that out when they go see it. I'm still excited to see it. I'm a big DC fan. I like the darker tone of their movies. They're not Marvel. They're not trying to be Marvel.
I know they're not. It's just
I
it's
enjoy
the
those
pace.
characters, the villains. I think their characters and villains are much more stronger than what we've seen out of Marvel. Granted, the MCU is probably the strongest movie universe we'll ever get. I don't think there's anything that's ever going to top that. But I think the personability of some of the characters and just how fucking evil some of these people are in these movies, I think to me just trumps what I see in the MCU. I love the MCU, don't get me wrong, and I'm not shitting on them, but
I'm not
I
trying
like-
to shit
I
on
like
the
how-
DC universe.
I just like how every movie we get from DC is a little different in its own way. Yes, a lot of times it almost seems like it's disconnected, but they always bring elements back in which they connect everything. I don't want a fucking joke every 5 seconds. I want it to be a little more serious. I want it to be a little more comic accurate, and that's just how I feel. So we'll see. I'm excited to see Black Adam. I'm excited to see The Flash, even though Ezra Miller's a fucking idiot. Aquaman, Jason Momoa is a great casting with that. I do like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, even though Wonder Woman 84 sucked mega ass. It just made no sense of a movie. And Ben Affleck's
We're not even going
Batman
to talk
to
about
me,
the.
Ben Affleck's Batman to me is the best Batman overall. He brings a lot to the table as Bruce Wayne and Batman. We've seen the most epic Batman fights with Ben Affleck, and I just like him. Everyone likes the Dark Knight series, like they think that's the best Batman. I think it's overrated. The only reason people like the Dark Knight series is because the Dark Knight in general. Dark Knight Rises was it's kind of mid, even though I liked it. The Dark Knight, they only like it because of the Joker.
Heath Ledger. Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker.
It's the only reason people think it's the best fucking movie series
Or
ever.
Christian Bale's good too.
Christian Bale is an awful Batman. I'm sorry. His Bruce
No,
Wayne.
I'm an
is-
actor, just actor.
F-
Movies he's done in the
Oh,
past.
Christian Bale, yes, he's one of my favorite actors, but his Batman was terrible. His Bruce Wayne was pretty solid, and going into the backstory with the League of Shadows and all that shit was cool, but his Batman was terrible. I'm sorry, just it
Yeah,
was
I
so
love
bad.
Batman.
I love Batman too.
I'm not a
his-
Batman guy. I'm a Spider-Man guy. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I'm a
Marvel.
Superman
Doesn't
guy.
bother me.
So.
All right, that was my bone to pick, y'all.
Anybody else?
Yeah. WWE's sound guy. So when I was watching SmackDown,
Oh no.
and Bray Wyatt was like, giving his promo, they're playing Bray Wyatt's, new Code Orange song in the background, and that song was way too loud compared to like him trying to cut the promo. And I don't know if you guys seen the promo yet or heard it, but I don't know. I just that really annoyed me, and I didn't know. I had no idea what was happening during that promo. So I don't know if you guys felt that or watched that at all on Friday.
I did not get to see that, unfortunately.
No, oh,
No, I haven't
damn.
seen it yet.
Well, that's my bone to pick. And also, actually, you know what? Another bone to pick. Same thing. Or AEW's just like sound guy as well. Sometimes when a wrestler's trying to cut a promo, you can hear the background of the crowd, and you can hear the microphone slowly start to go into the wrestlers. Like you start hearing them talk. I mean, they should get that a little more faster and quicker to get, or at least together. But yeah, bone to pick is sound guys. Anyways.
All right, dudes. Episode 13. Final thoughts. Great show. I'm hungry. I want to go play Call of Duty campaign. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Full release this week.
I'm gonna watch the Dragons. Them Dragons.
Monday or
Steelers.
Sunday night football. Steelers. Will they beat the
Steelers,
Dolphins?
come on. Hey, it's only the first inning. All right, we got 3 more to go. They can make a comeback.
Did you say first inning?
It's first
Or-
quarter.
First quarter, my bad.
Oh, you
I'm
said-
over-
I'm like,
oh,
base-
man, you
all over the
fucking
place.
poser.
Look,
Learn the rules.
I'm I'm discombobulated because I'm from what I'm watching here. But anyways, look, they're gonna make a comeback. It's the Steelers. They'll rebound here. All right, they'll get their shit together. Anyways, I'm watching football.
Let's go Bears tomorrow. We're probably losing.
Tomorrow's Bears.
Oh God, I gotta watch the Bear. I'm racing tomorrow. I'm not watching that shit. Hell no.
Anyways, yeah. Let's call it a night, fellas.
All right, guys.
All right.
Episode 13. We are out as always. Do the move.
Do the move.